March 26, 1997, after receiving an anonymous tip about a mass ritual suicide, deputies enter a home in Rancho Santa Fe, California, to discover the bodies of 39 people wearing matching outfits with purple cloths laid over the faces of all except 2 of the bodies. The bodies belong to the away team for the Cult of Cult, known as Heaven's Gate.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
It's alive!
I was with you.
They're coming to get you. Out of Grayskull. This is
Me?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. And we're joined once again by Miss Lindey. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. Primarily because I didn't have to do all the fucking research for this one, so I'm ecstatic.
I hate life.
What's going on? What's going on, Spar?
This fucking episode. Oh my goodness.
Let me start this off by saying, let's see. Hold on. Ancient religions and ancient weapons and hokey religions are no match for a good blaster, kid.
You're damn right they're not.
So
There's so much good shit happened in 97, and then this takes the cake? What the fuck?
yeah, I'll tell you what. This is another reason why that leads me to believe that Star Trek is horrible. So.
Oh man, you're going to get attacked pretty hard for that. I mean, I agree with you, but you're going to get attacked pretty hard. Zach said it, not me. I just agreed with him just to be nice. I don't.
My
I
wife
love
loves Star Trek, but
Trek.
say it like you mean it, bitch. Come on.
I don't know. I never watched a full episode of it ever in my life.
Oh, my wife's
never
made me
watched
watch
one
the
full episode of that.
Whole original series. I've seen probably like at least 4 or 5 times, but there's only like 2 or 3 seasons, so it's not horrible. But
I don't know, 97, you know what was good? Fucking wrestling. Now, if we can get into another... Okay, I'll stop. I'll quit.
come
I'll
on,
quit.
Matt.
Heaven's Gate. Fuck's sake.
For Heaven's Gate.
That could be the new saying. Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
You just got to move on.
I also want to say that if you're having suicidal thoughts, probably don't listen to this one, and go get some help. Talk to somebody.
Yes,
It's
there are
suicide.
people that will miss you.
Yeah, for sure. It's a serious issue. It's not worth it. You got to think about all your friends and all your family.
Yeah, I can't prove that there isn't a spaceship out there that's going to take you away. But what I can say is if it is there, it will be there later. So just keep going.
Yeah.
If it's there, it'll be there.
Wait till you're old and you wear Depends, and then maybe think about it. Yeah.
If I have to wear Depends, I'd be thinking about it. Spaceship sounds pretty good.
Well, it depends.
There you go. All right. So,
All right.
Marshall Herf Applewhite Jr. What a fucking name. Just this Herf. Man,
Sounds
I
like
love that.
good porno name.
He was born in Spur, Texas in 1931. How close are you to Spur, Texas?
I have no fucking clue, dude. You know how big Texas is?
Yeah, it's probably still 18 hours away, even though it's in the same state.
My parents live in Texas. It takes me just as long to go see them as it does to go see you.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it works. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yep.
But his father was a minister, but I think they got into aliens too.
No, he got into aliens. His dad was Presbyterian. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was kind of like groomed to do that as well, right?
So that's part of the reason why he's got the Christianity in his philosophy the whole time.
Because he's so well versed with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he served in the army actually for 2 years. And he went to school at Austin College and he married Ann Pierce in 1952 and had 2 kids and moved to New York, but ended up teaching music at the University of Alabama.
Musicals.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
So he returned to Houston and continued to teach music. He was the chair of the music department at the University of St. Thomas. Okay, now here this gets conflicting because I heard he was fired for a sexual affair with a male student, but I also heard female student. Either way, it's pretty frowned upon, I think. To fuck a student.
It was fired from the first one for an affair with a male student.
Oh, so that wasn't from the University of St. Thomas. That was from the University of Alabama?
Yeah. And
Okay,
then when he
that's why we
went
got
to the
you here.
University of St. Thomas, he tried to get in a relationship with a female. It didn't work. And then he ended up in a relationship with a male.
Okay, so, all right. This guy. Yeah, later on, he doesn't want a relationship with nothing. So his dad passed away in the early 70s.
And he's like, thank God.
No, this destroyed him a little bit.
Yeah,
He did not like this. No, this was bad. And he maybe went to a psychiatric hospital where...
He definitely went to a psychiatric hospital for a little while.
I read so many different things. I read that he went in there to visit a friend, and that's where he met Bonnie Nettles. But I also read that he went in because he was gay and didn't want to be. I don't know. He thought it was in his mind that he was gay and he could get it fixed somehow.
It's one of those things, Matt, where at the time you didn't tell people you were gay. And I believe he had gone because he had a nervous breakdown is what I heard. And this is where he met Bonnie Nettles there. Yes. And they immediately just were
hit it off pretty good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Because she was born in 1927 to a Baptist family from Texas and became a registered nurse and married a businessman named Joe in 1949. They had 4 kids. And in 1972, their marriage started to fall apart.
Yep.
When I say their marriage started to fall apart, I think her husband was like, get the fuck out of here, because she started getting into the occult pretty hardcore, where she was constantly talking to Brother Francis.
Yeah. She was way into astrology, right? Is that correct?
Big time. Yeah.
And she loved UFOs. Like her and her kid. What was her kid's
daughter?
Name? Terry.
One of her daughters. The other one, she didn't have much to do with, but the other daughter, she was, they're out looking for UFOs that are going to take them away to a better place.
Yeah. So she was a fucking weirdo, and Marshall was she was totally a fucking weirdo.
Okay.
At the time, just a hippie trippy chick at the time, but
huge into the occult, which I get that part. I don't know about the going out looking for aliens that are going to come take you away. I get going out looking for UFOs. That sounds awesome, but I don't know anybody that would be like, I can't wait till they come pick me up and take me away, because that sounds terrifying. Because you know what happens. Something up your ass. That's what happens. And maybe that was her jam. That could have been her jam. Like her husband wasn't doing the business that she wanted, and so, the only way I'm going to get probed.
Well, what I do know is the relationship that Bonnie and Marshall had was not sexual at all. I think he kind of looked up to her, and everything she said was just fucking gold. He's like, oh really? So
most of it was her ideas, and he just followed along. He was like the face, which I don't understand why he was the face, because that motherfucker looks crazy.
Yeah,
he's seriously crazy.
Can't even fucking speak in complete sentences half the time.
In 1972, also when their marriage was falling apart, she was talking to psychics all the time, and they said that she would meet a man that was tall with blonde hair and light complexion, and she should go with him. So she was working as a nurse at the same psychiatric hospital Marshall was at, for whatever reason, and she sees him and thinks, I got to give up everything. This is the guy I got to follow. That's
the one. That's the dude.
The guy. So she sees him and thinks their stars line up.
Okay.
I don't know.
I told you this.
I don't get into the crystals and shit, so I don't know I don't know astrology either. I don't know whatever your sign. What's your sign? Well, go away. Basically, if I met somebody,
my sign's a stop sign, motherfucker. So stop right now.
What's your sign? I was born in November. Get the fuck out of here. That's all I care about. I don't know. So, and if I miss anything, Lindey, you get on my ass, because I'm jumping through this fairly rapidly, because there's
you're jumping.
A lot. Yeah. So you need to pipe in here. Help us.
Fill in if you need to, because I'm going all the way to New Year's Day, 1973. They left together.
Fuck no, you can't go that
wait.
Okay.
So the marriage fell apart because of her it started to fall apart because of her readings and sense. Well, yes, it's because of her, but she had moved Herf into the home with her and her husband.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that's when he was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. You're done. Get the fuck out. I'm taking the kids. Have a nice life.
Yeah, fair enough. If my wife comes home she's like, well, I met this mental patient today and he's just going to stay with us now. I'm like, no, he ain't. And neither are you. So get the fuck out of here. What the hell kind of notion is that?
Oh, this sounds like something my wife would do with cats or a dog or rabbits or guinea pigs or some shit. Yeah.
Animals are fine, just not crazies. I mean, I can't have it.
You've seen my animals. All right. So what happened after that?
Left her children behind and started their journey together. And they're going to go on like this road trip, but they need
Sounds
new
like
names.
A great mom. Wonderful mother.
Bonnie becomes Bo and Marshall becomes Peep, but later they become T and Doe. Which
what?
Fucking whatever. Call them whatever.
I know why. I know why they did. Do you know why they did?
I thought it was from the song.
It's
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
It's from this musical called The Sound of Music.
I don't do musicals.
I don't either.
Repo was good.
One of my aunts made me watch that musical like 18 fucking times when I was a kid. Now my kids want to watch it, and every time it's turned on, I have to leave the room.
Okay, so they take a 6-month road trip across the U.S. And in 1975, Bo and Peep give a presentation as they're him at this point, Human Individual Metamorphosis. And they give a presentation in Oregon.
The two.
Giving out flyers, like recruitment forms. And they get close to 200 people.
Yeah.
Talking about their UFOs, their conspiracy theories, and religion. And the UFO will be coming to take you from this life to the next one. The Tela, the evolutionary level above humans. So they tell them to wait outside. Yeah, the UFO's coming at this time. Yep. And then, what do you know? No show. No alien, no UFO, not jack shit. So, like, most of them leave. But they don't stop. I don't know how you can put that in your head that this is going to happen and then it doesn't happen. You're like, well, it must be somebody else's fault. What? Lindey, could you explain to me what happened with that? Why did that UFO not show up? I need to know.
I don't remember hearing about the UFO at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. In Oregon. Yeah. Bunch of crazy people in Oregon apparently think they probably see shit all the time, so they might believe it more than others. But
I heard it was something like they needed to chemically and they would need to go and meet so they could chemically and physically transform into alien beings, and then they would leave the planet on a UFO. But first they had to transform. And to do that, they had to get to the next level.
The next level, man.
A new level.
It's going to take you there. You're going to get... So, they did the cult shit with a few people who decided to follow. You got to leave your home. You got to leave your life. Give us all your money. Then they'll travel around the country for over 20 years together. And I think what was the biggest it ever got? Was it like 80? 80 was like the biggest. And then toward the end, it was only like 30 some people or
30. There were 39 people.
Well, there's more because some of them didn't. Some of them were supposed to stay around for the next coming.
Yeah. There were, we'll just say 45. Yeah. 45
so
people. Approximately.
They lived in poverty for the most part, but the followers didn't care. It was kind of like they were selling blood and shit.
They would do whatever they had to do to get to the next meeting. I mean, like they would take up odd jobs and do whatever they needed to do. But, you know, some of these guys or some of these people that joined were really well off. Some of them had trust funds. Others were like real estate moguls and
moguls
and had a shitload of money.
And one of them got like some kind of inheritance of like $300,000. Yeah. In the 90s, that's a fucking shitload of money.
That was in the late 70s that the guy got this.
Oh, it was in the late 70s that happened?
So that's even a more... Yeah.
If anybody's following this podcast right now and you got $300,000 to give, just send it to me. And you'll never have to hear from my fucking ass again. And So with a mix of Christianity, sci-fi, And the fact that Bo and Peep were apparently so nice, they just kept people following, and they thought their afterlives would be just amazing. So a part of what they thought was Mary was impregnated by aliens. So that's okay. I'll get more into their thoughts later. But if you were a new member joining, you needed to be cleansed. So lemonade, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup to get rid of impure thoughts, no sexual desires. And for 3 months, you needed to go through this progress. You just needed 3 months of this just to be cleansed enough that you were clean enough to follow. Is anybody else still in? Are you guys sticking with that program?
I don't have any problem with that. No.
Okay.
They used to make them run around too with tuning forks. So
yeah, they were supposed to try to tune to their mind to the key of A. It was the key of A, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
Key of A.
The key of A.
440
hertz.
Yeah, I have it.
440 or 446,
easy, right?
something like that.
It was.
No.
Is it not?
440, I want to say.
Yep, it was 440.
And that's what I tuned my guitar to. Yeah,
that's what that's the frequency that they needed to have their mind in to communicate with the members of the other members of the next level.
Well, that's the standard tuning anyway. When you got your tuner set to 440, that's standard, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just running around the mountains with a tuning fork on your center of your head. It's fine.
Is it? Oh, it was on the. Amazing. Okay. How was it? How was it held there?
They just held it. They just
put it on the center of your head and then hit it.
Okay.
Just spread around like that.
So aliens they will provide you with a new body because your body is just a skin suit.
I believe it's a vehicle.
Yeah, I put skin suit because I thought it sounded better. But yeah, vehicle.
The vehicle thing. Yeah, because every once in a while you get pulled over and the officer asks you to step out of the vehicle.
Well, you definitely got to step out of the vehicle if you want to advance. But they rent houses through the members' money that they gave to the cult. And it was 40 members at this time. And the first rule of Heaven's Gate is what?
We don't talk about Heaven's Gate.
We don't talk about Heaven's Gate. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Okay. Now, when they were camping and shit, did they not they positioned their tents and shit like it was a spacecraft?
Yes.
Is that correct? And at the center, you'd have Marshall and Bonnie in their little trailer, and then they would position everything else out and around it, so it was like sectors. So it was all different sectors of a spaceship.
Star clusters.
And star clusters. There you go. And they also had a cool down tent, right? So if you got too hot and bothered and worked up, you had to go to the cool down tent until you calmed down a little bit. So
you had to go in and clean up,
off.
And you had to sign in and out so that they knew how long you had been in there with your dirty dream thoughts.
Yeah.
Dirty dream thoughts. I wouldn't.
Dirty dreams.
Dirty. My whole life. Can't control dirty dream thoughts. I don't know what I'm doing. So.
Well, that's the whole point, Matt. I mean, you're trying to ascend to the next level and not be human anymore. So you need to shed all these human aspirations.
Okay,
something like that.
Yeah. Another one was in Texas. A visitation of aliens was coming. So once again, wait outside for the aliens. It was a test, but aliens didn't come. But that was a test of faith, just to see if you. Right. Well, the aliens didn't. That was a test. I was testing you to see
make
if
sure
you would drink the Flavor Aid. The purple Flavor Aid. What do you call it? White. Jim Jones called it White Night. Would they just run these?
They probably couldn't afford to
running these tests. Yeah.
And also during this camping time, they would send people out, and they were sent to recruit other people in other areas. And we're talking the 70s, right? So there's no email, there's no phone, nobody has like a cell phone. So they would send them a PO box, and be like, okay, so mail something to this PO box and let us know where you're at. And sometimes they would purposely send people out to basically ditch them. Is what I get. That dude was annoying. Get rid of him. They're like, exactly, or they just don't fit in. They don't meet the requirements.
Or he might have been talking a little smack about not believing you a little bit, so we can't have that.
I think if it was a direct letter, it was basically they weren't going to let him join, but they would do other things like two of the guys had to go to someplace in California, and the group had written a note in a specific page in the phone book that was like, okay, this is where we're going to be.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's those two guys were very specific guys. That would be Robert Balk and David Taylor, and they were both sociologists that had found out about them in, I think, Arizona, and they basically infiltrated the whole group, and they were there for like 9 months and wrote everything down and like wrote some articles for like American Psychology magazine about these fucking weirdos.
So if you guys got more stuff in the 70s, I'm going all the way to 1980 on this one, because they gained followers. Okay. They're up to like 80 followers, and they get into computers and car mechanics, like they're building websites and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was the part where they had decided that they needed to go to the next level, and that's when T and O they started to record all these lessons and basically send them out on cassette tapes, I believe, and make all these people listen to this VHS shit.
I mean, you can still watch them on YouTube. I mean, the quality's crap, but it was crap anyway when it was released, so it doesn't matter. But
if you want to fall asleep, go for it.
It's so boring.
Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to survive or evacuate is to leave with us.
It took me like 3 minutes, and I was just like,
so like you guys got anything you want to throw in here before we move on?
Yeah, so after they gained the 80 followers, they started to, the families were starting to worry. So
was in 1983, on Mother's Day. Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
They were they wanted to keep the families off their ass, basically, is what it came down to. So they let them go visit and tell them, we're working on computers at a monastery, and there's just, this is what we're doing, so you don't have to worry about us anymore. I think it was basically just wasn't it the reason? It's like to keep the families off their ass because they were getting pressured pretty hard.
I think it was either that, or it was just to make them think they still had free will, that they could come and go whenever they wanted to, and they could.
But once you're in it that far, maybe, I don't know. Like,
I don't know, man. If you give up your kids, you give up all connotations of being human, like sexually.
It's like saying,
like, some of these people had girlfriends and boyfriends, and they joined together, and then it's like all of a sudden,
it's like admitting you're wrong. Like, if you went back, you were like, no, I was wrong about all this. I couldn't. You can't go back on yourself after that. But so, but there were hundreds of members over time that came and left. But by the early 90s, the numbers were down to only 26. Of course, once again, Bonnie was still the leader. Marshall was the face of everything.
You said in the 1990s?
I might have read that wrong, because in 1983, this is where Bonnie, God of everything, had to have an eye removed because of cancer. So God's eye needs removed because of cancer. But she believes she couldn't die, even though she's a fucking nurse. I guess the God complex overrides the nurse thing.
She was a nurse that refused to go for treatment for cancer. Mm-hmm. And she knows exactly what's going to happen if she doesn't.
Anyway, she lived for 2 years before she died. No way, right? Yeah, crazy, huh? Got cancer in her face. Spread everywhere.
she had liver cancer, and because she didn't get treatment, spread it throughout her whole body.
So,
and I think the whole time that she was suffering, they kind of kept her away from all the other members, so they couldn't see her.
Marshall is on this. Okay, Marshall is on this because he told everyone that her broken down vehicle had ascended to the spaceship. So now your vehicle can be removed at any time. You're just a skin suit. At any time you can take it away now. You just have to be around them. You just got to be a part of this and everything will be fine. So the total Overcomers Anonymous, they didn't get to Heaven's Gate until way later than I thought. Like, this is clear up at, like, what was it, 93 when they became Total Overcomers Anonymous? And it wasn't till
Heaven's Gate came from it came from the book that they wrote, I believe.
Yeah, but through their
they never fucking sold. They never sold. Yeah, the one that had to fucking buy all the copies of from the publisher because they didn't sell them.
Yeah,
real quick,
go ahead.
Marshall had to overcome T's death. Like, he had to change the narrative because their original belief, like the central belief of the group when they first started, was that you had to be physically there and healthy. Like, you had to be in your body. You had to be alive to reach ascension. So when she died, he had to come up. Yeah. So when she died, he had to come up with a way to overcome that. So he said, T has come to me from ascension. She's come to me from the next level. She's talked to me and she has said, you actually do have to shed your human container in order to reach the next level. That's how he was over to overcome that. And they actually only ended up losing one member from that.
That's so crazy.
So a total shift of beliefs, a total shift of the everything that you've been taught, and they lost one member from it. So
I thought there were 3 different levels of ascension, and one was metamorphosis, like, caterpillar to butterfly.
Yeah,
that was the original one. Was you're going to go through a chemical change, so your body's going to actually go through the scientific change.
Right. Two was what you just mentioned, exiting the vehicle. So we're going to need you to step outside the car. And I don't remember what the third one was. I thought there were 3.
The third one is that your soul is contained in the vehicle. So in order to get to the next level, it's you
transformed or transported physically on a UFO. That's it.
But, well, it all makes sense now. Thanks, guys, for laying that out. I mean, I read it, but now I'm in.
I also want to mention that Terry Nettles, which was Bonnie Nettles' daughter, the one that she was really close with, she didn't even know her mom was dead for like a fucking year.
Probably not. Well, she wasn't dead. She's piloting a spaceship, Zach. Get on board with this shit. She's clearly not dead.
Because Marshall didn't have the fucking balls to call her up on the phone and let her know that her mom died. So she had no fucking idea that her mom was even dead for even a year till she got like a copy of the death certificate.
But they were killing it in the computer realm with Higher Source, the 39 members that they had doing the web design service. They put like a $30,000 ad out. What was it, USA Today?
Yes.
To get people to try to join. Because this is your last chance, fuckers. It's coming. And if you're not on board.
That was the most people they got from something like that at once the entire time this thing was going on, which was like 21, 22 years, right? Was it 22 years?
The whole time that they were a member or a group was 22 years, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess the web design was they were just killing it. But they used the money to rent a mansion in a gated community just outside San Francisco. But, next level, time to leave. You have to leave behind everything and time to ascend. Right. And then at this time, they finally get to being named Heaven's Gate.
Yeah. After they put out the manual of basically of all the rules and regulations that they follow. And that's what it was. It was a list of fucking rules and regulations. Like it went down to like, can you it was like 17, I believe 17, right? Things that it's like, can you follow instructions?
Can you not touch your penis
without? That's probably on there too. I think it was actually. But from the doc that I saw, which is on HBO, if you want to check it out, 4-part series, I believe. It was like, okay, so when you make pancakes, you do it like this. They're all the same size. This is the way you put the fucking maple syrup on all the pancakes. All of them have to be exactly the same, because these people did not look at food as something enjoyable. They looked at it as fuel. Like, okay, we're just putting fucking gas
I like
in the
tasty
tank.
fuel.
That's all we're doing. Well, that's what they were trying to ascend and get to the next level by changing up their palate consistently, and they tried all these fucking different fad diets and shit because of that. And like, well, like one month they're like, okay, we're gonna eat nothing but lentils this month, and the next month, God knows, I mean, might just be pork and beans, like fucking old Ed.
Get back to Ed in here.
So
Zach, you and I are pretty close friends, right? Well, okay, let's say for some reason I'm going to go down to Mexico and get my balls cut off. You in, my man? Or are you coming along? Or
tell you what, would you pick me up a pinata on the way back?
They were actually flipping coins for who got to go first with this.
They wanted to go. Yes, I don't. Yeah, okay.
Okay, if I was not out when they said, sorry, you got to let your kids go, I definitely am out when they say, yeah, we're going to take balls.
The part that Applewhite made them do just before this would have been my turning point.
What was that?
Which is?
So you're supposed to be getting rid of all of your humanness. You're supposed to not want worldly possessions and that kind of stuff. So he actually asked the group, if I gave each of you $100 to spend on yourselves, what would you buy? It was a trick question. Nobody could figure it out. One of the guys finally figured out that it was just a simple gold band. And he ended up just a gold wedding band, just very simple. He actually went through and they married each other. They all had to marry Applewhite.
There's some more cult shit right there. That's
when it. I think for me, that's when it broke the point of, you can come, you can go.
Now you're kind of you're in.
But at this point, this is a cult. Like,
yeah.
No, we're done. This is a cult.
So is that the reason why he needed to remove his balls? Because he was like, well, now I'm married to all these people. I should fuck them all, but I don't want to, so I got to go get my balls chopped off.
No, he fell in love with one of the members. And was having sexual desires about one of the members is why he started to think about castration.
Stupid human desires.
So he actually asked that member to leave. And it was one of their longest running members.
Wow. Space Jesus isn't doing well with that, is he?
Was it Sawyer? Was it Sawyer that also left for similar reasons? He was one of the guys that had been there the longest. Like he's like back. I think he had been there since that original recruitment. Oregon, and it got to the point where he be like out to go get groceries or something, and it'd be a TV, and he'd see like girls on an MTV video, and he'd just go wank. He'd spank one off.
He literally left because of masturbation. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, can't.
Well, I mean, it's there. It's there.
Yeah, he said he was too embarrassed to continue to sign in and out of the cleanup sheet for night. What did they call it? Night sessions. So he quit signing in and out, and he finally, I guess he was starting to act super distant. So Applewhite stopped him on the stairs and was like, "What's going on with you? You're becoming very distant." So he laid it all out, and Applewhite was like, "Well, you don't have to leave." And he was like, "I think I should probably leave."
Good call.
Yeah. And another thing we haven't pointed out yet is everyone had a check partner.
Yeah.
So this is someone that was not necessarily, yes, And usually Applewhite would pair them with each other, and he would make sure that they didn't like each other. Just so they would make sure it'd be like, well, if they do fucking something,
The
they're
other
not
one's going
supposed
to
to
rat
do.
on them.
The other one's going to fucking rat. Exactly.
It also helped
Yeah.
to keep mutiny out of the group so that Applewhite and T were the only truth.
Yeah, because you don't want friends talking to each other, because once friends start talking to each other, then you might get a group against you, and then you're fucked. So, yeah. But they started uploading videos and stuff around 1996, I think, is when they started doing uploaded their videos to websites about how to come.
In 94, they did, I thought it was 94, they did a series
93.
first, right?
Yeah.
I was
93.
thinking,
I'm sorry.
96 was the ones where they trying to get you to join, because this is your last chance to join, because the end is coming rapidly.
That would be the $30,000 or whatever they spent,
and they did
do like some private satellite
12-part videos, so that even if the U.S. government took it down, it was still you could view it in Brazil and Portugal. I think there was one other, but yeah, they had it sent out so that even if the U.S. government took it down, it was still.
It's still out there. It's still out there in the ether. But this is when Hail Bop is coming by, which is a huge fucking deal, because
Hail Bop, isn't that the German version of the American song? Bop.
What a fucking dick.
What did I say?
Zach with 2 points. Nicely done. Okay. So, no, it's not just a comet. There's a spaceship behind it, you fucking idiots. And Bonnie's piloting that motherfucker. Now get ready, strap in and get on.
You need to make sure, and you have to throw in the whole coast to coast thing with this. Oh, you don't know the coast to coast thing? Coast to coast AM radio.
What coast to coast is, yes.
Okay. Well, this whole theory came like somebody called in.
Piloted the plane.
This whole theory came from some guy who called in to coast, and then the next night somebody else called in, and I guess one of the members, the Irish guy that was a member of Heaven's Gate, he was listening, and he took it as a sign as, oh, the spaceship, and then old numbnuts there. Well, I said numbnuts. I meant no
nuts.
Yeah, they're.
Of course, it was the Irish guy making us all look bad. Fucking idiot. Ruin everything.
Tall. They call him Tall something. I can't remember his name. Anyway, so T decides, I can spin this now, and this supposed spaceship. Well, it may be a spaceship behind there, but you never know. But he took it as a sign that it was dough.
Well, it was definitely dough.
It's time to come home.
So Doe had actually decided that it wasn't the mass behind the comet. It was the comet itself that T was piloting to come back and get them.
Is that okay? I didn't read that.
Yeah.
So she's piloting a fucking comet.
Yes.
Might as well. Hell, I mean, whatever.
I mean, if you're going to go out, let's do it with a bang.
That's not as Looney Tunes as the next thing. So they do. They're going to get on that. That's how they're going to ascend, and fucking farewell statements come out on YouTube, and you can watch them. Every single person's super happy about it. Here's the part that's the craziest shit about this whole.
Not every single person seems super happy about that, by the way. There were a couple people that were like in tears and crying, and like seemed like they didn't really want to fucking do it, but they were going to go along with it anyway because they'd been fucking in this thing since the fucking 70s.
I think they were crying because they were going to miss people. They still wanted to do it. I think was why they were crying. I mean, they did it. I mean, no one forced them. I think they were crying because they're like, well, I'm going to miss these people. I'll never see these people again, but I'm going to move on to this new existence. So,
well, Matt, we've hung out for a long time, and every once in a while we get together, and you're like, well, just one more beer, and then you're just like, well, then you'd give me that just one more beer thing, and then I've had 4 fucking beers that I probably didn't really want to have anyway, but I did it because you did it.
Are you going to blame me for you drinking beer? Okay,
sometimes
that's fair enough. I'll blame you too.
I'm sure I've done it to you too, but I'm just saying. In the moment, sometimes you do shit just because these people are this like your fucking family, and
right. Fair enough, yeah. But
everybody else is going to jump off a fucking bridge. I guess I'm going to have to fucking.
I'm going to see how it goes first, And if I'm just seeing like red pools down there, I'm not jumping off the fucking building. I'll be like, well, oh yeah, you said he's gonna fly now. There's just puddles down there, and I'm not okay. I'm good. I'll just take the elevator. Fucking, I'm out of here. So their last supper together, their last group supper, because I know Zach's gonna fucking jump on my ass about that. They went to Marie Callender's for iced tea, salad, turkey pot pie, cheesecake with blueberries. Get the fuck out of here. You're gonna leave this world, and that's what you're gonna eat is a fucking turkey pot pie.
I can think of worse things to eat.
Well, I can think of worse things to eat too, but I'm going surf and turf, motherfucker. I want some whatever that beef is that they massage the shit out of, and it costs $8,000 for one ribeye. Throw that shit on my plate. I ain't paying for it anyway. And then I want crab legs out the ass, some fucking lobster. I'm going to drink. No, don't give me a little thing of the garlic butter sauce. I want a fucking cup of it. I'm just going to drink it as I eat because I'm dying anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
What?
A turkey pot pie? The fuck out of here. God, that makes me madder than anything. I mean, really.
Well, they did some other cool shit too. I mean, they went.
That wasn't cool.
Well, they went to Vegas and they saw what was it? The space? Was it space? The thing that looks like a spaceship. It's like a
Space Needle.
Space Needle.
That's in Seattle.
No, that's in Seattle. This was in Vegas.
They went. I know that they went to Vegas and did a bunch of gambling and stuff. They won $20.
$20. But I thought there was like something that looked like a maybe it was a restaurant there or something that looks like a spaceship at the time, or maybe there was a casino that was shaped like a spaceship. But
the Stratosphere.
Yes, that's it. Nailed it. And then they also went and saw some. I wouldn't have fucking gone to see that movie. I can't remember what it was called, but it's they all went to.
If he was piloting the ship, it was a musical of some sort, I'm assuming.
Sounds like Marshall picked the movie out.
That was T's favorite movie was Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Which, all of a sudden we have favorite worldly things again. Let's just fucking point that out.
No. I don't even know if it's bad. I've never seen it.
You've
never seen The Sound of Music?
Fuck no. Why would I watch that?
It's fucking 4.5 hours long, so I don't fucking blame it. Just don't bother.
It sounds awful.
The Germans win.
Why would I sit through it?
The Germans. The Nazis. The fucking, or should I say, the fucking Nazis.
Killing Nazis.
Fucking kill the goddamn Nazis. Anyway, so they go do all these things, the fun stuff. They went to SeaWorld, I think.
That's fun. Yeah. Go beat some fucking killer whales.
Yeah. So
super fun stuff.
It was more like, okay, let's, make some memories before we go, off ourselves.
So March 22nd, it's a good day. It's a good day for them. Some of them are pretty happy about the drugs that went in. What did they eat before, Zach? What was their actual last meal? Not going out to eat, but
they had pizza. Yeah, pizza.
Rocking way better than the turkey.
It was probably, if I was to guess, I would say it was probably just like fucking cheese pizza. I don't know. I just know it's pizza.
Kevin McAllister style, just personal cheese pizza all to myself.
Extra cheese, please.
They did put up a message on the website to let everybody know what was going on.
And they also mailed out several of these videos that they had pre-recorded and sent them to several different news organizations and also some of the members as well. And that's
they let everybody know that they believe that the Hellbot comet was T because it would be making its closest pass to Earth to coincide with Easter that year, which was the resurrection of Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Of course it was. They put drugs into either applesauce or pudding, and I read so many different things about what the drugs was,
so
and then they took
vodka,
they chased it down with some vodka.
Yeah, so that's
why they all wore Nike Decade jogging shoes, which I wish I had a pair of because I read that one of those was found like in a storage bin somewhere and was auctioned off for over $6,000 for a pair of fucking shoes.
Well, this is the reason why, because Nike
that's why
discontinued
they
them. They were not like a high dollar item. I think they all had these shoes on because they got a good deal on them.
Yeah, well, we can't be associated with these people killing themselves, but we can't be associated with sweatshops where these children are working. Okay, I'm bringing up dark shit in my. Okay.
Yeah, not that this fucking.
Not that the whole story isn't dark. It's fine.
It's pretty dark.
It's fine.
It's fairly dark. It's not as dark as the last one, but it's okay. It's purple shrouds over their faces, and on March 36th, found armbands with the Heaven's Gates awaiting, and then the largest group suicide on U.S. soil. But they had like the patches that they left behind next to their bodies with money and IDs, but in their pockets they had $5.75.
Yeah, which ties into Mark Twain saying, if you wanted to hitch a ride on Halley's Comet, that's what it cost.
God's coming by to pick us up and Jesus is with us, but your ass better have $5.75 American or you're not getting on.
Ask grass and cash. Nobody rides for free, motherfucker.
You better have that shit. And then go ahead.
The 575 was the reference to Mark Twain's story, the extract from Captain Stormfield's trip to heaven. And it's the fare to get to heaven on the tail of a comet was $5.75.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough. Once again, though, but Jesus is with you and his Father's coming to pick him up. You should be free rides.
Jesus.
And the groups, so everybody didn't leave the same day either. This was done over 3 days.
Staggered over 3 days. And I cannot imagine what the fuck that smelled like. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you had to bring that up. I didn't even consider it. Fuck, stop with the smells. I hate the smells. I can't.
Well, it had been
Lindey, say something.
I can't remember. Lindey, do you know the name of the person that the member that actually went in with the videotape and got the first videotape of all these people covered in these purple shrouds?
Yes.
What was his name?
D'Angelo.
Okay, so he was one of the guys that received one of these packages that they had mailed out, and I guess he sprayed some cologne on his shirt, covered his fucking face up with his shirt, and went in with a video camera because he knew he couldn't, he was not good with strong odors anyway.
No.
These fucking bodies had been decaying for fucking 5 days. And this is springtime. Nice. It's been extra warm that year.
In California.
In San Diego, as Ron Burgundy would say. San Diego.
Yeah.
Damn it, Baxter. You know I don't like dead people stinking up my fucking house. Yeah. So at that point, I believe he was the one that made the 911 call, which you can find. And you can see his footage as well if you just Google the San Diego Sheriff's Department. I believe they've got their nice big logo on it, and you can walk through and see all these people in their fucking Nike decades and all covered in these purple shrouds. And I believe they were purple because that was
it's a royal color.
That was Doe's favorite color. It was Doe's favorite color.
It was Doe's favorite color. So they took their names from T's favorite movie, and on one of the farewell tapes, they had actually written T a song. So they basically just rewrote the
Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do.
To make it a part of to make it fit with the cult stuff. And
if you don't mind, go ahead and sing that for us, Lindey. We'll
I thought about writing the lyrics down, but now I'm super happy that I didn't, because my dumb ass would probably start singing it for you.
I can't do that. It might be copyright infringement. We don't want to.
We're going to get pulled like we did with Sony, because they might own the music. Fucking assholes.
Stop.
Nothing happened.
Just don't bring it up.
Nothing here.
All I know is iMac and Sony need to get together and figure that shit out.
Figure something out. So there was 21 women and 18 men throughout it, and then I tried to do.
How many guys? How many guys got fucking snipped? How many?
They said 7 to 9.
I thought I was. Yeah, I heard 6 to 9, but they were like jogging to get in front.
Or 69. Which one?
6 to 9.
All right.
So the first castration wasn't done in a hospital. It was done in the home by one of the members who used to be a nurse. And when that went terribly wrong, they were like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore.
Maybe we should go down to Tijuana.
Getting back
Yeah.
into some rock terrier. Castration. I know how to fix it. Cut your balls off. That'll fix everything. We got this. They
So
got
the
same idea.
doctors performed between 6 and 9, but the actual levels were 7 to 9.
Now, Applewhite's surgery was it was a butcher job. Like, they fucking fucked it up real bad. And I guess the last 2 years he was alive, he was just in constant fucking pain.
That's what you get for being dumb.
Well,
I mean, it's not illegal to be dumb. It's just should hurt. It should hurt to be stupid.
well, there you go.
So fuck
made
that
sure.
guy. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm kind of like,
So I tried to go through the teaching. So the extraterrestrial mind that was Jesus came back into Marshall, right? So he's Jesus. And then 2,000 years ago, a group of aliens come to Earth that have dough and tea with them. And then another group came to Earth in the 1920s, but somehow God and Jesus lost this group. So if you managed to find them, that you're part of that group, you were the crew.
all right, Lindey, now it's your turn to go.
Get the fuck out of here with that. I
Uh-huh.
don't understand any of it. It's so stupid.
Just say like 2 or 3 more times and just let him keep talking. It's your turn. Ready? Go.
Tell me the actual thing, because that's what I got from it, and I have no idea. It's so dumb.
The teachings just continually changed. There was
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, it was a mess. They basically they continually changed their teachings, but everything stayed kind of in line with a level of Christianity. But they continued to change the teachings because they wanted to make sure that everybody was devoted to them.
Right. So was I even
and-
close with my assessment of how things went? At least at one point. No. Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, there's so much detail in this, and there's so many conflicting stories on all of this that it's really hard to get a sense of what was really going on in any of it. I mean,
Scientology's bullshit based off of a fucking science fiction writing fucking con man, but at least the story stays the same. This just constantly changes.
Well,
yeah, this
like any
this
other
just
cult, though,
continues.
that's what they do, Matt. They fucking have to change the narrative. Anytime something steps outside of the box, they have to make the box bigger or smaller to compensate for that. So they still have control of the group. We're talking about.
And by the way, if you are a Scientologist and you're listening, yes, I am a suppressive person. So go fuck yourself. I know nobody can see that, but I flipped you off.
But after the suicides, there were still members who had taken off, and they could not stand to live without the group. So there were quite a few.
There were 3
members,
more. The
yeah,
3
there
more
were
that I know of, right?
that actually committed suicide. One of them shot themselves, and then 2 of them attempted to commit suicide in the same way. So there was supposed to be 4, but one of the guys ended up living because they had met at a hotel, and they took the barbiturates and did everything that the rest of the class had done. And the one guy, as he was dying, he actually ended up ripping the bag off of his head, and the barbiturates, he had not taken enough barbiturates to kill himself. So he actually ended up coming out and going through an exit counselor. And oddly enough, that's the one that Applewhite had fallen in love with and asked to leave the group.
Wow.
Crazy how things work.
Yeah. So to my knowledge, oh no, he did pass away, but it was from complications from his sexuality, not.
What you're saying is he went to get his fucking balls chopped off and he bled to death? Is that where we're going with?
He passed away from AIDS.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that happens.
Well,
okay, Zach. Well, this cult, in comparison to my last one, is fairly boring.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back into murder, I think, pretty soon.
Okay.
I think my mind is already broken.
I said it at the beginning. I want to say it again. This is why Star Trek is bad. This right here. We just spent an hour explaining Yes. I mean, like the original series, I get it. It wasn't bad. But like when we get into the fucking Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, the fucking Enterprise, all that other go fuck yourself.
Nah,
Just fucking turn on Star Wars and, like I said, ancient religions.
Dune. Not the new one. I mean, it was pretty to watch, but fucking boring.
Yeah. No, also if you're gonna join something like that, maybe start checking the mail going out from the leaders, because T was writing to her daughter the whole time and telling her, hey, don't do this kind of shit. Conform to society. What I'm doing is fucking stupid.
Right? Yes.
So she was advertising it. Okay.
No, she was telling her, she's basically telling her, don't be a fucking dumbass like all these fucking people that are here with me and fucking, following me around. That I told to go buy fucking camping equipment, and then, I tell them to meet me in fucking Colorado, and then they fucking do it, and then I tell them to go fucking 4 states away, and then they fucking do it. Yeah.
I'm glad she lost her eye. What a cunt.
Tell them to do all of this kind of stuff, and then, I'm telling you, conform to society, do this kind of stuff. I'm not leaving the group because I have it cushy here, and
she's got
I have cancer anyway. So, here I don't have to explain why I told everybody to leave their kids and shit. It's fine.
Right. Everybody worships her and she's dying anyway. So it's just comfy ride.
I'm staying here.
I think these people in the beginning, I think a lot of them were fucking probably tripping balls on LSD. And thank you, CIA, for that. And also, I want to point out that this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do thing. So do is the beginning.
Yeah.
T is
do
the end.
Deer, a female deer.
Right. T is the end. So they actually got their fucking names fucked up. And she should have been T and he should have been Do.
Well, they had a lot of things fucked up.
Well, I mean, they were all completely fucked up, but anyway, fuck these people, fuck this cult.
Okay.
Don't kill yourself. It's not worth it. Stick around, make some fucking memories, make some noise. Fuck around and find out what happens. That's what I'm saying.
I seriously spent a lot of days on researching this, and I still don't know any more about it than what I did when I started. I mean, really, like I was trying to get dates. I'm glad you guys were around to correct me on some things, because I was just jumping through. I was like, I got to get through this fucking thing. I got to get it out of my head.
Lindey's got like fucking 27 pages. I guarantee you, I've got like 3 pages of notes.
Yeah, I've got a few. They're all, small type, hand. It's fine.
No,
that's on top of the handwritten notes that are all over the place that I can't even read.
No, mine are not for anyone to read. You wouldn't be able to understand it.
Oh, yeah, she knows.
You wouldn't be able to understand a fucking word that's on that. It's just that's outlined. Yeah. I'm going fucking witch trials next episode. I think I do. I want to get more excited again, because this one I was excited, and then I started getting into it. I was like, "Fuck, this is boring."
Well. Now you know how I feel when I had to fucking do the goddamn Jersey Devil.
I know I'm not as mad as you were at the Jersey Devil, but I'm pretty upset.
Well,
I thought this was
we all know that Ben Franklin is the devil, Mama.
He was absolutely the devil,
the Jersey Devil.
Mm-hmm.
And Marshall Applewhite was not Jesus.
No.
And Bonnie Nettles was not God.
Nope.
Because everybody knows Morgan
sucked,
Freeman is
awesome.
Fucking God. All right, everybody knows that. And Lemmy.
No, Lemmy said God was a little taller.
Nice play. All right, guys. Do you guys have anything else? Matt, you want to throw anything in here?
No, I think I'll see what you come up with for the next episode, what Lindey wants to do, and then I think I'm going to do the Salem witch trials, because once again, I'm a sucker for the witch. And
she's a witch, better.
Bring her. I mean, sorry. What? Let's move along.
All right. Well, guys, continue to like, rate, review the podcast, and tell your friends. Spread the word. We appreciate everyone listening and continuing to tune in. If you want to check out the website, we do have a website now. It is hmfppod.com. There you can find the latest episodes on YouTube or on wherever you get your podcasts. Also, links to all our socials. And we do have a nice little shop in there if you want to go buy some swag. Some t-shirts, coffee mugs, koozies to keep your Doris beers cold. So until we see you again, I'm Zach.
Spar.
Lindey.
And we will see you next Tuesday. Later.
She's not saying it.
Lindey, you have to say later.
Later.
Nailed it.
We nailed it.
Okay.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
It's alive!
I was with you.
They're coming to get you. Word out of Christ. This is
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
This weird circle, yeah, on the animosity. Down that aisle. Yeah. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Okay, and I feel better.
You feel better?
had to channel my macho man. Does the macho man cry? Yeah, the macho man cries. I got to do the hand thing or I can't do it. It's fucking so weird. Oh, God. Fucking Jersey Devil would have been a treat. This fucking thing sucked. I'm fucking bored as shit.
What are you fucking talking about? Like fucking 29 people, 31 people died.
I'm coming off a wrestling episode. Nothing's going to live up to it for a little while. Let me come down.
All right, man.